Cougar fans? Welcome to our final edition of 2024 CUC Coaches Weekly Softball Edition. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Well, it was another busy week for your team, and let's go back all the way back to last week when your team had a doubleheader against nationally ranked Dominican. And the first game didn't go quite as planned. The second game came back and was a really competitive second game for your team. So you can talk about that a little bit. What's the mindset when you know you're playing a really tough opponent like that and you drop the first game but then are able to come back and play well the second game?
I think it's just been what we kind of focused on for the entire year, just trying to compete every single time you go out there. So like the first game has to be done, you got to come out and you got to compete the second game. And I think we did a really good job of doing that. I mean, they're playing very well. They're up from 1 through 9, and defensively they made the plays. We just didn't make a couple plays here and there, and that's kind of what hurt us. So again, it's just staying as competitive as possible and trying to finish out that way.
And then let's move to Saturday against Wisconsin Lutheran. Your team was able to pull away a victory from the Warriors there, and it was a doubleheader in which your team played the long ball really well. Talk about that a little bit.
I think we had a really great practice from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of last week, or Thursday and Friday last week. We were just kind of focusing again on the fundamentals of what we do well or what we need to keep working on. And I think each player took that and they were trying to keep getting better and better, and we saw some of that come to fruition. We put the ball in play a lot, first and second game. Even though we lost the second game, we were putting the ball in play a lot. So that's a really good thing, and I hope that carries over into this week with our 2 doubleheaders coming up.
And you mentioned those 2 doubleheaders. You've got Rockford and then CUW, both at home here. So what's it going to take, let's talk about Rockford first, to pull away a couple of victories tomorrow?
Just consistency, just coming out and playing. Continuing to just look at the little things that we are, compete against ourselves. And I think if we can do that, we can get 2, for sure.
And then CUW, I assume the same approach.
Yeah, it has to be the same approach. So that's really what it is. It's just trying to get us better, trying to move on and kind of thinking about things a little bit longer term because, we're still vying for that last spot in the conference tournament. We need some help from some other teams too, but we can only control what we can control. So if we just keep focusing on the doubleheader tomorrow and then get better for Friday, then it's in our hands and we have a chance to do what we need to do with that.
That's right. And taking 4 games this week would go a long way
in
determining who gets those final spots.
Absolutely.
So because this is our final edition of the year, I want to go back and talk about a little bit of your team throughout the season. And so just a couple players I want to highlight. First, Emily Garcia. And this is a player that we've talked about a few times on the show, but a freshman that came in, started for you right away at second base, and is hitting the leadoff spot the majority of the season. And she's hitting just over 400, which is top 20 in the NAC right now. So what have you seen out of her, again, that's just given you the confidence to keep playing her there? And how have you seen her mature from the time that she stepped foot on campus to the player she is now?
It's her consistency, but it's not even that. It's the work she puts in behind it. So, like, if you tell her to do something, she'll work on it. If you give her some advice, she'll take it, she'll listen, she'll ask questions, and she'll keep working on it. She's not afraid of putting in hard work, and I think that's what we're looking for. I think we've really had a great season from our middles. I think we had some great plays. They worked really well together. It was a great tandem, and I think that helped solidify our infield quite a bit. So I think Emily did a great job. I'm looking forward to seeing what she does next year, and just keep building on that. So, but it's her mindset. I'm never satisfied with what I am now. I want to keep getting better. How do I get better? And putting in hard work. Working hard and hard work are 2 different things. Putting in the hard work is important.
And then let's talk about her partner in the middle infield, Arissa Santos. And she was coming off a freshman campaign in which she earned All-NAC Honorable Mention honors. She's now hitting exactly even 400, and that's the best on your team. What have you seen from her freshman year, knowing that she was going to come back and have a strong bat for you, but you've seen that play out in her sophomore campaign as well?
I think she was second team all-conference. Haley was honorable mention. But taking that, I think Arissa has earned the opportunity for that top team this year. However, we put her into a position where she hasn't played that position before again, and she's kind of solidified that a little bit. And you take your bumps and bruises. It's not necessarily a sophomore slump, but everyone kind of knows who you are now, and they're going to try to make you better. And I think she's taken that and she's tried to work on that as much as she can. You see some maturity in her. She isn't afraid to ask questions now and try to get an answer and not try to work through things on her own. And I think that's really kind of helped because she's been a little bit more vocal and tried to be, to really lead on the field in a very quiet work way. And I think that's a pretty valuable thing taking into next year too. And that's just her personality. She again has that hard work ethic. It's not You have to put in the hard work. It's not about working hard. It's about the hard work ethic that goes into it.
And then the last group I want to talk about is your pitching staff. And for the most of the season, led by Ashley Schroll, but you've gone a lot pitching by committee with the other members of that staff. And that was something that we talked about early on, and we've continued to talk about, and how you've seen growth from those players individually as the year progresses as well.
Yeah, you have, and it's a very young staff outside of Ash as far as experience goes. So, Ash has just gotten better as the year's gone on. I think she's kind of understanding where she's at, what she needs to do, and how she's going to work at it. And then you have the emergence of Eden, which she hasn't pitched at the collegiate level yet. So this is kind of like her freshman campaign as a sophomore. Same thing with Megan. So both of them have done really great jobs of figuring out what it's like to pitch at this level, and you have to understand that it's a little different. You have to be able to be consistent, and that consistency will come. And then you saw a little bit of some great things out of Callie, who still doesn't have as many innings as a junior necessarily would have, but she's been very successful in that middle relief type thing. And Emma Borelli is making progress in her own right too. So it's not bad. It really isn't. I mean, I think we're moving in the right direction, and we've got really good things that we can see, and we'll get better at that as well. And
so the last thing to talk about here today is, let's fast forward to, let's say, a month from now. Your season's complete. What's the approach in the off season now, recruiting wise, and then with your squad that's coming back? And when does that off season stuff start to prepare for next season?
Well, we're kind of, as a coaching staff, already kind of preparing for that. However, I like the girls to take at least the month of May off and not do anything. I think rest is an extremely important thing, as most athletes coming into college have been playing year-round now in one sport and everything, and it takes a toll on your body. And when you get to be 18, 19, 20, it takes a toll on your body a lot more. So getting some rest and being able to take the summer, a little bit of the summer, to try to mentally get yourself, give yourself some rest mentally, physically, and emotionally, I think is really important. So we'll work with Ken, and we'll get some workouts for the summer. We'll send that out. We'll do cardio stuff. We'll give them some ideas of what we want them to try to work on during the summer, and then we put it in their hands, and we'll get ready for the fall and start all over again, kind of figure out where we're at. So recruiting never stops, which is great, so that will continue on through the month of May, June, July, maybe take a little break in August right before school starts, but that's really about it. So.
Well, it's been an honor to talk to you each week and to get to follow your team closely over the past few months. And we look forward to seeing how this week and the final spots of the postseason tournament play out. So Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Welcome to the CUC Softball Field on the campus of Concordia University, Chicago, as we get set for the regular season final doubleheader for your Concordia University Chicago Cougars as they take on the Falcons from the rival Concordia University, Wisconsin. Good afternoon, everyone. Peter Borkowski here on the Cougar Sports Network, bringing you all of today's action. As I said, this is the final doubleheader of the regular season for CUC. And coming into today, they are holding a record of 11-24-1 overall, 7-15 in conference play, 2-9-1 in at home. And as for their playoff chances, currently sitting in the 10th seed at that 7-15 mark in conference record. The top 8 teams get into the conference playoffs, and it's a confusing picture to say the least. Of the 4 teams ahead of the Cougars, specifically the 3 in front of them, Edgewood, Marion, and Wisconsin Lutheran. Edgewood and Marion have one more win than CUC. Wisconsin Lutheran has the same amount of wins but 2 less losses, so they have a pair of games in hand against the Cougars as well. So while the Cougars could jump ahead of them in terms of wins, the problem is those 3 squads all play each other today and tomorrow. So logistically, somebody is bound to pick up a couple wins of that group of 3. So to put it simply, the best CUC can do today is come away with the doubleheader sweep over CUW, and that puts them in the best position to maybe make the playoffs, depending on any wacky shenanigans that happen with the teams in front of them today and tomorrow. As for the Falcons, on the other hand, CUW coming into today 21-9 overall, 15-3 in conference play. They're sitting safely at 3rd in the conference. They have clinched their ticket to the conference playoffs, so now they're just playing for a little bit of standings, as they are 2 wins behind the number 2 seed Lakeland and have 1 less loss than the 4 seed Aurora, but have 3 less losses, have 1 less win, I should say. So CUW does have a chance to maybe move around in the standings depending on what they do today. But let's get into the game. We are already underway here. A 1-0 count to the CUW leadoff batter, that is Sydney Erdman, as the second pitch of the day is in there for a strike. Erdman's opponent in the circle. The starter for CUC is sophomore Eden Pufall, coming into today. 24 appearances, 14 starts, 5.20 ERA, and just over 67 innings pitched, as this ball is going to drop into right field. It'll be a leadoff double for Erdman, and we are already underway here in River Forest. So Pufall, with the 1-1 count, gives up a leadoff double and now has to face number 33, Maddie Wheat, the center fielder for CUW. She comes into today with a .306 batting average, doing that in 30 games, all of which have been starts for the outfielder. She's started in every single game for the Falcons, as she immediately lays down a bunt. The throw to first is going to be in time, but it is a successful sac bunt. It moves Erdman over to a third, and with 1 out, the Falcons already have a runner at third base. So Pufall and the Cougars defense have to get to work here, inducing 2 outs without giving up anything that could score Erdman from third. And Pufall's next challenge comes in the form of Jess Pozinski, as she's going to look at strike 1 on the first pitch. The Cougars coming off a doubleheader split with Rockford, on Tuesday, as this ball is aligned to Arissa Santos for an out. And that helps out the Cougars tremendously. The ball does not leave the infield, which means that Erdman has to stay put at third. And with 2 outs now, it'll be up to Claudia Utz, the catcher for CUW, to try and plate that runner at third. Utz on the year, .323 at batting average, 28 games played, all of which have been starts for the CUW backstop, as she looks at ball 1 low from Pufall. Two rival Concordias dueling here in the last home contest of the year for CUC, as that ball is knocked foul, so it'll be a 1-1 count. And again, this is the last home contest for not just CUC softball, but CUC in general. It is the official last day of school. Wraps up finals week. As the next offering is going to be over the glove of Santos, and that'll score our first run of the day. RBI single for Claudia Utz. She grabs ribby number 20 on the season. And it brings up Megan Bloyer, the first baseman for CUW. Coming in with a .462 batting average across 30 games played, all of which have been starts, as that ball is just high for ball one. CUW, on the other hand, still have a bit of business to take care of. They host Lakeland tomorrow, May 4th, and then they take on the nationally ranked Dominican Stars on Monday, also a home contest. So 5 more games left in the season for CUW after this game one. And it's now a 2-0 count on Bloyer. Cougars need one more out to get out of this inning. As the next offering is going to be rolled in the dirt. The throw down to second is not in time. And you can see Santos thought she got it. It's a low throw from Jess Gang, the Cougars' backstop. And is right in front of second plate, but it looked like Santos was able to swing the glove over in time. The infield umpire says otherwise, and it makes it a 3-0 count at the plate for Bloyer. As Pufal checks the signs from Gang, now delivers, and that's going to be high for ball number 4. So stolen base puts Utz at second. Bloyer draws the walk to get the first, and now it'll be Jasmine Freeze, the designated player for CUW. 325 average starting in all 30 games for Concordia, Wisconsin this year. As the first offering to Freeze finds its way home for a strike. CUW working with another runner in scoring position now. Cougars still need just one out to get away from giving up any more runs, as Freeze takes the off-speed pitch for strike 2. Nice pitch there from the sophomore Pufal, who is really just completing her first collegiate season. Did not play at all last season due to injuries, and has become a regular innings eater for the Cougars. That ball low and away for ball 1. In terms of the innings, Pufal, like I said, just over 67. That is second on the season, only to junior Ashley Schroll. As the next pitch to Freeze is low, gets away from Gang. The throw to third, and now the throw to second. Do they get the runner? They do not. Claudia Utz caught a bit of a rundown, but able to turn back quickly enough once Gang made the throw down to third. Dives back into second safely. So Cougars almost stealing 2 outs with the runner Utz at second, who's been able to avoid both tags. As here's the 2-2 from Pufal, and that ball fouled down the third baseline. So Freeze stays alive for at least one more pitch here. Ball, it's the signs from the catcher Jess Gang, now delivers, and that ball way upstairs. Gang thought about throwing down to second and said she's just going to pocket that ball. Utz has been aggressive on these pitches that get away from Gang a little bit. But she's been doing a good job keeping Utz at second. Now full count, 3-2 pitch is low and inside, ball 4. Good fight there from Jasmine Freeze. And the bags are now loaded as the infield comes in to have a chat with their hurler. It will be Gabby Gaziano at the plate, the second baseman for CUW. Gaziano. 309 average, has started in every game for CUW but one this year. Did not appear in that game at all, so 29 games played, 29 starts for the CUW. Second baseman this game. Bags loaded. Cougs need just one more out to get out of the jam. As Pufall delivers, that ball is in there for a strike. 0-1 count on Gaziano. Adriana, Martinez on deck for CUW, the pitcher. See if she can get an at-bat here. Gaziano has to reach safely as that ball is knocked into deep right, but getting under it is Alyssa Contopoulos for the final out. Gaziano gave that ball a ride, but Contopoulos able to track it down. Cougars escape the bases loaded jam. They only give up one run in the inning, so the Falcons, they take a 1-0 lead into the bottom of the first. We'll have more for you when we're back here on the Cougar Sports Network in just a second. Arissa Santos will start off the CUC offensive today, batting in the one spot, and she has done an extraordinarily good job of it this season. Been playing some fantastic ball, a .393 average. Has appeared and started in all 36 games for the Cougars this year, a all-conference member of the NAC last season, and likely will find herself there again after the conclusion of this season. And her opponent in the circle to start is number 24, Adriana Martinez, who has made 11 appearances on the year. Has compiled a .239 ERA and 44 innings pitched flat. And it's now a 1-1 count on Santos. There's the 1-1. Santos is going to drive that deep into center, going back for its Wee and making the grab against the wall. Fantastic grab there from Maddie Wee. Santos drove that ball about as far as you could into center field, and Wee, with one arm up against the center field wall, able to make the snag for out number 1. So with one out, nobody on, it'll now be Haley Goldsby at the plate for CUC. The sophomore outfielder playing center in this first game, as she's going to take the first pitch for a strike. Goldsby .302 average in 35 games played, 26 hits across 86 at-bats. As the 0-1, and Goldsby tried to lay down a bunt. He got behind her, however, for a foul ball, so she'll have to retreat to home. 0-2 count now on Haley Goldsby. Cougars going with the underclassman 1-2 punch here in the start of the lineup. They'll be followed by another underclassman, freshman Emily Garcia in the 3-hole. She's on deck right now, guaranteed an at-bat this inning, as the 0-2 is fouled straight back. So we'll get set to do it again. This Cougars roster, a lot of youth on the team in this starting lineup. 3 seniors playing in their final doubleheader, possibly of their career, depending on how the playoffs look. The 0-2 misses high and away, 1-2 now. And a lot of sophomores and freshmen making up this Cougars roster. Just 4 total seniors and 3 juniors, as that ball is away for ball 2. As the 2-2, Goldsby just gets a piece of it to stay alive. Count remains at 2-2. As Martinez, her next offering, low and away. Full count now. Good fight here by Haley Goldsby to load the count up after falling 0-2 early. See if she can stay alive or get something on base here. 3-2 for Martinez. She's going to take low. Ball 4. Good fight from Haley Goldsby. Goes down 0-2 in the count. Fights back, draws a walk. And with a runner on first, it'll now be Emily Garcia. Emily Garcia appearing in all 36 games for the Cougars this year. Started in all of those but 1. And she has compiled a .371 batting average. 43 hits across 116 at-bats. Very impressive for the freshman in maroon. So you see wearing their maroon home jerseys with white sleeves, gold at the end of the sleeves. A gold and white stripe going down the pants. CUW in their traveling unis as that ball is popped up. It's going to not leave the infield, barely leaves the infield, I should say. Making the grab is Gaziano from second. So 2 outs, runner still up first. It'll be up to a senior for CUC, Bella Archuleta, playing at third today. Archuleta, a 4-year member of this Cougar squad, has done a lot of good softball for this team. Batting .298 on the season as she drills that one into right, but it dies down in the air. Coming in to make the grab is Walters. Sounded good off the bat, but results in the 3rd out of the inning. Cougars, they strand a base runner on first. No hits, no runs. And we head now to the top of the 2nd. Falcons still on top of CUC 1-0. We'll have more for you when we're back on the Cougar Sports Network in just a second.
We love the support you give us on and off the field. To donate to our athletics communication department, hit the like and thank button.
This helps us continue to have the best live stream possible for some great Cougar softball moments. Thank you and enjoy the game.
pitcher for CUW, Adriana Martinez, at the plate, and she takes a looking strike from Eden Pufall. Pufall worked herself into a jam in the top of the first, loading the bags with 2 outs, but was able to get the final fly out to end the innings. This ball is lined into center field, going back for it, and making the grab is Haley Goldsby for out number 1. Good contact on that ball from Martinez, but ball was traveling in a straight line to Goldsby. Just had to take a couple steps back to make the grab, and with 1 out, it'll now bring up the 9-hole hitter, Riley Duvall. Duvall on the season as she immediately goes first pitch swinging and lines it up the middle for a base knock. Right up the gut, a hit for Duvall, hit number 17 on the year. That'll up her 276 batting average a little bit. And with 1 out, runner now stands at first for the leadoff hitter of the day for the Falcons, Sydney Erdman. Hit a leadoff double in her first at bat last inning. Now gets a quick second look at Eden Pufall. As the first pitch to Erdman, Duvall thought about taking off. Jess Gang stares her back to first base. Good pop up there by Gang. One and 0 count on Erdman. As that ball throw down to second gets past Garcia. And just standing put at second is Duvall. It'll be another stolen bag for the Falcons. 1-1 count, meanwhile, on Erdman. Gang just shorted the throw a little bit to Garcia. Garcia wasn't able to glove it on the hop. So 1-1 count, 1 out, runner at second now. And Duvall, as Erdman fouls off the 1-1, 1-2 the count now. One and 2 count on Erdman. Maddie Wheat awaits on deck for the Falcons. As here's the 1-2. That ball is lifted into shallow right center. Coming in is Haley Goldsby. The throw to third is offline. So tagging up and going to third will be Duvall as Erdman flies out. And so with 2 outs, the Falcons have another runner at third. Second consecutive inning, a runner's gotten all the way over. And it'll be up now to Maddie Wheat. She laid down a sac bunt in her first at bat last inning. She has to reach safely this time, however, if she wants to add an RBI to her total. And she'll foul off the first pitch. Oh, 1 count to start on Maddie Wheat. Pozazinski awaits on deck for the Falcons. If they can get to her, Wheat has to reach safely. As Wheat pops that ball up, see if Archuleta or anyone can track it down. It bounces off the top of the Falcons' dugout, so it becomes a dead ball. Archuleta, Santos, and Gina Westfall, the CUC left fielder, all in pursuit of that ball. Falcons' dugout might have saved them from a fly out in foul territory. So 1-2 count now on Maddie Wheat. Bufall checks her side sleeve, delivers that ball high, ball 1. Bufall delivers the 1-2, and that inside almost touches Wheat, but able to just avoid it. So 2-2 count now. Here's the 2-2. Outside, 3-2. So So Wheat fighting back from an 0-2 count, trying to keep the inning alive. Three-two. She takes down low, ball 4. So Poofball extends the inning, a free pass given to Maddie Wheat. And with runners in the corners now, still 2 outs, it'll be a Jess Pozazinski lined out to Santos in her first bat. As the first pitch to Pozazinski misses high, 1-0. The 1-0. That ball hit into left field. That'll be a base knock and an RBI single for Pozazinski. And that'll make it a 2-0 ball game. So that walk issued to Wheat comes back to hurt the Cougars as prolong the inning, and Falcons able to capitalize on it. They have runners at first, 2 outs up on the board as we have a pitching mound visit here for CUC. So we'll take a break on when we come back. CUC needs just 1 more out to end the inning. We'll have that for you when we're back in just a second on the Cougars Sports Network. Circle visit over for the Cougars. As now Eden Poofall delivers a strike to Claudia Utz. Had an RBI single her first at-bat. Has a chance for another RBI this at-bat with a runner at second. Has to put the ball on fair play and reach safely to keep the inning alive. 2 outs up on the board. As the 0-1 from Poofball, sky-high pop fly gain under it is Haley Goldsby for out number 3. But the Falcons, they grab another run off of a pair of hits. RBI single courtesy of Jess Pozazinski. They take a 2-0 lead now into the bottom of the second. Cougars see if they can get their offense in gear when we come back in just a second on the Cougars Sports Network. Jessica Gang leads us off here in the bottom of the second. Batting in the 5-hole for CUC on the season, gang. A 361 batting average. That is third best on this Cougars roster of eligible players, as that ball misses for ball one. Cougars didn't get much of anything going against Adriana Martinez in the first. And the Goolsby, the only base runner, thanks to a walk, as the 1-0 slowing away, makes it 2-0 now on Gang. And already in a 2-run hole. See if they can get their offense going here in the bottom of the second. Gang will be followed up by Hajik and Gina Westfall. This inning is that ball inside. Makes it 3-0 now. Heavy hitters count for Jess Gang. And that ball misses. 4-pitch walk to Jess Gang to start the inning. And with a runner on first, nobody out, it is Melissa Hajik at the plate. As the first pitch, Hajik shows bunt, and that gets by her. They got tipped their bat, so it will be a strike. 1-1 count. Hajik on the season, 289 average, 33 hits in 114 at-bats. Here's the 0-1 as Gang takes off for a second. The throw is going to be in time. So the runner thrown out at second by Utz. And that wipes off the base runner for CUC. 0-2 count on Hajik. She takes a roller in the dirt. 1-2 now. Here is the 1-2, excuse me. That ball is going to be caught. Walters coming all the way in to make the grab for out number 2. So it'll be up to Gina Westfall to try and keep the inning alive. Westfall, senior on the CUC squad, possibly playing in her final doubleheader as a Cougar on the year. Westfall, a 130 batting average. And she's going to take the first pitch for a strike. 130 average, 6 hits across 46 at-bats for Westfall. As that ball hits her up in the back. So Westfall does keep the inning alive in painful fashion. So with the runner on, 2 outs, it'll be another freshman, Mikyler Morris, who on the year is turning in a really nice freshman campaign. 309 average across 29 games played, 55 at-bats. And here's the first pitch. Morris takes a big swing through it for strike 1. One misses, makes it 1-1 now. One. Swung on and missed, chasing the high pitch. So it is now 1-2. Cougars down their last strike in the inning. Martinez gets set. Delivers the 1-2. Morris is going to take it for a ball. Good eye there. Off-speed pitch. Just at the last second. So count evened up at 2-2. Next offering to Morris, and she lines that one into right field off the tip of the glove of Gaziano. And with a 2-out single, Kyler Morris keeps the inning alive. And it'll be now the 9-hole hitter, Alyssa Contopoulos. 133 average in 60 at-bats this season. The senior out of Elmhurst, just 20 minutes west of River Forest. Trying to do some damage with Gina Westfall, a high school teammate of hers. As that ball misses away, makes it 1-0. So the duo graduated high school the same year. Have played all 4 years together here at CUC. And are coming to a close on a long shared history between the two, as that ball is in there for a strike. Both coming from York High School in Elmhurst. 1-1 count on Contopoulos. The next pitch. She swings and misses for strike 2. Here's the 1-2 to Contopoulos. Swung on and missed, and it's a drop third strike. The throw to first, however, is in time. Contopoulos didn't realize she dropped it until it was too late. They get the throw down, and that'll be strike 3 as well as the third out. The Cougars, they leave a pair of runners on, get their first hit of the game. Still waiting for their first run, however. And now they'll have to go back on defense to try and stop this CUW offense. We'll have that for you when we come back. Top of the third coming up on the Cougar Sports Network.
Appreciate you tuning in today's game. To stay up to date on all things CUC Softball,
follow us on Twitter and Instagram at CUC Softball. We'll see you on campus soon. Good?
Megan Bloyer starts us off here, top of the third. Her Falcons on top of the Cougars, 2-0. And she's going to take that first pitch high and away for ball 1. Bloyer drew a walk in the first inning, her only at bat so far this game. Eventually made it to second before the inning ended. Now she gets a clean slate with the bags empty. No outs, takes a strike there. So count now 1-1 on the CUW first baseman. 1-1 from Poofall. High and away for ball 2. So 2-1 count now. Ball delivers the 2-1. Ball misses for ball 3. So Megan Bloyer works it to a 3-1 count. Poofall already issuing 3 walks so far. That ball is fouled back. Fouled back onto the Vision Street. As it's now 3-2. I think it took a ding off a car out there on the hop. So 3-2 count now on Bloyer. The pitch is knocked into right, and Contopoulos comes in and makes the grab for out number 1. Ball had some movement up in the air as Contopoulos had to zigzag around to get under it. She finally does, makes the grab for out number 1. It'll now be Jasmine Freeze. She also drew a walk in her first at-bat in the first. See what she can do here with 1 out, no one on. First pitch, swung on and missed for a strike. Oh, 1 count. Next offering, low, makes it 1-1. Here's the 1-1. That ball has a deep drive into left. That ball is a no-doubter solo home run, Jasmine Freeze. And that makes it 3-0. Westfall turned around, and within a couple steps, she was already at the fence. That ball had absolutely no chance of staying in the park. Jasmine Freeze with the solo shot. And we are now have a 3-0 ball game on our hands in favor of CUW. For Freeze, that'll be a home run at number 7 on the year, trailing only Jess Pozazinski in that mark. Yeah, that was an absolute rocket. It landed closer to the baseball field than it did the softball field. As that ball is skyrocketed up, a couple Cougars converge, but it'll be Haley Goldsby making the grab for out number 2. As CUW putting the ball in the air a lot this inning. 2 flyouts and a home run. See what happens here with Adriana Martinez, the CUW pitcher, trying to give herself a little help here. Pitching a 1-hit shutout through 2 innings. See if she can do anything offensively as she grounds that one, and Santos botches it. The throw over to first is going to be not in time. We go in error. It'll be an error on Arissa Santos. Ball went into her glove and then popped out. Wasn't able to close it quick enough. And I think we may have a pinch runner coming up for Martinez. We will. Martinez heads off the base pass. Head coach of the Falcons, Steve Crook, in his 25th season, going to try and protect his pitcher, as instead he'll put in number 13, Jenna Shadowski. She'll come in to pinch run. Two outs, pinch runner at first. That pitch lined foul. Almost took out Riley Duvall on deck, as well as Steve Crook down at third. Ball had some heat on it from Duvall. Excuse me, that's Sydney Erdman on deck. Duvall at the plate, rocketing that one foul. So 0-1 count now on Duvall. Next offering, and that's going to hit Duvall. Clipped her on the foot, so she'll take her base at first. That'll push Shadowski, who was already in the motion of stealing. Looked like she would have gotten there. That pushes her to second anyways. As we have another circle visit here. This time it is Coach O'Malley Fisher. Coming out to have a chat with her infield. runners at first and second for Concordia, Wisconsin. Duval at first, Shadowski at second, and Sydney Erdman, the leadoff hitter, coming already for her third at bat in as many innings. As she lines that into the glove of Archuleta. Nice snag there by the Cougar third baseman, and that is the final out. Probably would have saved a run. But the solo home run from Jasmine Freeze gives CUW a 3-0 lead. They head into the bottom of the third trying to protect that. Cougars up to bat. We'll have that for you in just a second on the Cougar Sports Network. Arissa Santos steps up to the plate for a CUC. Leadoff hitter of the day for the Cougars will lead us off here in the bottom of the third. Her squad trailing the Falcons 3-0. Falcons have scored 1 run in each inning so far. No big innings yet from the Falcons, but just slowly building their lead. As for Santos, she flew out to center in her first at bat. She takes a roller blown away for ball 1. One-0 count. Next pitch, and Santos lines at foul. 1-1 the count now. Here's the 1-1 in the dirt, makes it 2-1. Martinez, despite giving up only 1 hit, it's been a little bit wild on the whole. Seen plenty of pitches from her. Blatantly missed in the dirt as Santos knocks this one through the 6 hole. That'll be a base hit. Past a diving Pozazinski. Santos gets her first base knock of the day. Cougars, for the second straight inning, have the leadoff runner on, as it'll now be Haley Goldsby at the plate. Goldsby walked in her first at-bat in the first inning. As the first pitch, she lays down a bunt, goes foul, so she'll have to retreat and do it again. And now the CUW defense on watch for it. Here's the 0-1, and Goldsby lifts this one up, grabbed by Pozazinski at short for out number 1.
Now batting for the Cougars, number 22, Emily Garcia.
Emily Garcia steps up to the plate now for CUC. Flew out to second in her first at-bat. She goes swinging on the first pitch, and that'll get into left field as well. Almost identical spot as where Santos got her base knock. And so 2 singles load the first and second base stations for CUC. Still 1 out. CUC's offense has looked better every inning they've played so far. Only had one base run in the first, had a couple in the second, ended up with 2 left on base, and now they already have 2 runners on base with just 1 out here. First pitch to Bella Archuleta, takes it inside for a ball. Next pitch to Archuleta in there for a strike. 1-1 the count now. The 1-1 is lifted into deep center, but making the grab is Wheat. Santos thought about tagging up, but she'll just retreat to second. So runners still at first and second. Now 2 outs on the board for Jess Gang. Drew a walk. The leadoff last inning was then caught stealing. First pitch to Gang. She's going to take it way high. That was about high level with Gang. The 1-0 to Gang. Takes away, makes it 2-0 now. Here's the 2-0 now. In there for the first strike of the at-bat. One count on Gang. The pitch. That one is knocked into right, but going back and making the running grab is Walters. Looked really good, but Walters able to track it down for out number 3. And that'll do it for the bottom of the third. Cougars, they leave a pair of runners on base. And we head now to the top of the 4th. CUW still on top of the Cougars 3-0. Well, more fuel, and we're back here on the Cougar Sports Network in just a second. Maddie Wheat will lead us off here in the top of the 4th. The Falcons, they've scored a run in each inning so far to build their 3-0 lead. And now Wheat looks at a first pitch strike from Eden Pufall, who at 54 pitches now on the game. 5 hits, giving up 3 runs, all of which were earned. Wheat lays down a bunt. Pufall scoops it up, throws the first. Not in time. First base umpire to think about it. And he calls Wheat safe. So the bunt turns into an infield single. Pufall got there about as quick as you could. Wasn't really any lag on the Cougars' part. It was just a good bunt. So Wheat with some speed gets on first. Here's Pozesinski. She takes a pitch outside for ball 1. Now on Pozesinski, 1 for 2 today. A line out and a RBI single as Gang loses the ball. Pump faked the throw down to first. Lost it. Luckily, Wheat stays at first. Here's the 2-0 count. In there for a strike. Gang again thinks about the throw to first. Instead, holds on to it. Here's the 2-1. That ball is lifted just into shallow center. Emily Garcia not able to get up for it, and a little bloop single for Pozesinski puts 2 runners on, nobody out. Say the Falcons offense, they've put up 3 runs through 3 innings, but they haven't had a big inning yet. That's really what they're missing. They had bases loaded in the first, so it was with 2 outs. They couldn't get anything out of it. They'd already scored their first run of the day. Since then, they have had multiple base runners on. They've left 7 on base as the double steal is in motion, but that ball's popped up. Westfall comes in for the grab, and out number 1. Wheat and Pozesinski were ready to go. Instead, they have to retreat, and now to be Megan Bloyer. Bloyer a walk and a fly out in her 2 at-bats this game. First pitch to Bloyer. That one is lifted into left off the wall. It's going to score 1 run, and that'll be all. RBI double for Megan Bloyer. And that makes it 4-0. So once again, the Falcons tag at least 1 run on. See if this is the inning. They make it more than 1. It'll be Jasmine Freeze at the plate. Had a solo home run in her at-bat last inning. As we have a pinch runner for Bloyer, it'll be number 1. That is Julie Moker. Outfielder out of Hubertus, Wisconsin. So 2 runners in scoring position, 1 out for Jasmine Freeze. Already has a home run this game. She takes a strike there. Oh, 1 count now on Freeze. Here's the 0-1. Low for ball 1. One on Freeze. Fouls it off. So it'll be 1-2 now. Strikeout here would be huge for Pufall. With anything put in play, there's a good chance it's going to score Pozesinski, and that ball fouled down the first base line. Maddie Wheat coming home to score on the RBI double from Bloyer. As for right now, it's Pozesinski and Moker, and that ball is grabbed by Alyssa Contopoulos. The play is, there's going to be no play at home. I don't think Contopoulos thought that Pozesinski was going to go, so an RBI coming up for Freeze. Contopoulos threw that to Arissa Santos, who was covering second. And during that, that's when Pozesinski took off for home. Contopoulos likely should have hit one of the cutoff people for the Cougars to at least prevent that run. So it'll be a sac fly RBI for Jasmine Freeze. Scores Pozesinski, and Moker still at second. Here's the 0-1 to Gabziano. Grounds out to Emily Garcia to end the inning. But the Falcons, they grabbed a pair of runs off of 3 hits. No errors, 1 left on base. So we head now to the top of the 5th. Bottom of the 4th. Cougars, still some more work to do. More work to do now as they trail the Falcons 5-0. We'll have that for you in just a second on the Cougars Sports Network. Off here in the bottom of the 4th. Cougars trailing the Falcons by 5. Zeke herself flew out to right in her first at bat. Will now take a first pitch ball down low. And here's the 1-0 to Zeke. Pops that one up into left field, but getting under it for the grab is Erdman for out number 1. So with 1 out, it'll now be Gina Westfall. No official at-bat yet. Was hit by a pitch. Her first at-bat in the 2nd inning. As Westfall is going to take that pitch for a strike. Here's the 0-1 and a off speed ties up Westfall. Swings through it for strike 2. Martinez catching her. And with an 0-2 count, Westfall has to do something with this pitch as she takes it down low for a ball. 1-2. Westfall, and it almost is grabbed by Uds. It caught Westfall right above the hands on the bat. A very short pop-up, stayed right above home plate, and Uds just lost it. As we now get a second to sweep off home. 1-2 count now on Westfall. Martinez the pitch, and Westfall lifts that one into left center where it is grabbed by Wheat for out number 2. So with 2 outs, it'll be Mikyler Morris to try and keep the inning alive. She had a 2-out single her first at bat in the second. See if she can do it again with nobody on now. That ball misses in the dirt. Ball 1. Again, a lot of pitches missing in the dirt for Martinez. And she's been effectively wild, only giving up 3 hits. The 1-0 swung on and missed for a strike. 1-1 count now on CUC's freshman designated player, and she lines that one into right field for a base knock. Kyler Morris, 2 for 2 now. Her second single of the day. And with 2 outs, it will now be Alyssa Contopoulos to try and keep the inning alive. Struck out swinging in her first at-bat.
Now batting for the Cougars, number 25, Alyssa Contopoulos.
First pitch to Contopoulos, takes for ball 1. Thought about swinging, able to hold back. Up high, makes it 2-0 now. Here's the 2-0. Swung on and missed. Says she got a piece of it, but it was still caught. 2-1 the count. Either way. Here's the 2-1 to Contopoulos. Swung on and missed again. Strike 2. The 2-2. Up high. Ball 3. So full count now for Contopoulos. Trying to avoid her second strikeout in as many at-bats. And there it is, strike 3. Contopoulos goes down swinging once again, and we will head now to the top of the 5th. Concordia, Wisconsin holding on to a 5-0 lead over the Cougars. We'll have more action for you when we're back here on the Cougar Sports Network in just a second.
Tuning into today's game.
For more information on the softball program, head to cucougars.com. We hope to see you at the next game.
Go Cougars!
Go Cougs!
pitcher v. pitcher duel will get us started here in the top of the fifth, but it's a new pitcher in the circle for CUC. That is number 21, sophomore Emma Borelli, making her 18th appearance on the year, 9.93 ERA, just under 25 innings pitched. As she issues a strike one to Martinez, who is pitching a shutout so far for her Falcons. Borelli misses there, so 1-1 the count now. Martinez so far today, a line out and reached on an error. So we have a brief pause to check the gate that leads from CUW's dugout to outside the field, as that ball is a dribbler up the middle. The throw to first is going to be not in time. A very slow grounder from Martinez. And it just didn't get to any Cougar in time. Martinez able to leg it out. So it's hit number 9 on the game for CUW. Here's the next offering from Borelli up high. Gang thought about throwing down. She holds it as it was Riley Duvall showing bunt. She'll take ball 1 instead. Next pitch, Duvall does lay down the bunt. It's fouled off, though. So 1 the count now. One count for Duvall. Corner infielders in for CUC, Archuleta and Hajiq. See if she shows bunt again. She does, but she pulls back in time to take a ball. 2-1 the count now. Here's the 2-1, and it misses the bunt attempt, so that'll be a strike. 2-2 the count now. Count evened up. As Burley gets set and delivers that ball, lifted foul over the CUW dugout. Here's the 2-2 from Borelli. Low 3-2 count now. The 3-2 from Borelli. Knocked foul and some heat on it. So count remains 3-2 on Duvall. The next pitch, high, ball 4. Runners at first and second now, still nobody out, and it'll be Sydney Erdman. So Erdman represents the possible 8th run for CUW. Softball, if you're up by 8 or more runs after a complete inning, that is a run rule. After a complete inning, the 5th inning or later, that is a run rule victory. So Cougars have to be a little cautious of that now. They have to be within 8 of CUW at the end of this 5th inning. As that ball is down for a bunt, Erdman not able to beat out the throw, but she does advance the base runners over. So good sack bunt from Erdman. Two runners in scoring position now, with Martinez at third. Interesting enough, Martinez running for herself this time. When she reached on an error in the third, she was pinch ran for. Now she is the one on the base path, and then Riley Duvall at second. That ball lifted foul by Maddie Wheat, who reached on a bunt last inning. Was also walked and laid down a sac bunt, so a very successful day at the plate so far for Maddie Wheat. See what else she can do here. 0-1. And that is popped up into shallow right, and Contopoulos barely makes the grab. There's going to be a plate. The plate, the throw is in time. Double play ball. Good play by Alyssa Contopoulos. Makes the grab, and then she throws out the runner at home. So the Cougars won't have to worry about the run rule just yet. Now all I have to worry about is making up a couple runs here. They trail 5-0 as we head to the bottom of the fifth. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're watching the Cougars Sports Network. Arissa Santos will lead us off here in the bottom of the fifth. Cougars in need of some runs here. They trail 5-0 and are running out of runway here. Santos, 1 for 2 on the day, flew out in her first at-bat, hit a single in her second. See what she can do here in plate appearance number 3. She's going to take a slow strike 1. That ball misses, so 1-1 the count now. That is in their first strike. 1 and 2 now. Martinez working on a shutout here through 4 innings. Is the 1-2 to Santos. Launched foul. So after the foul off, Santos able to stay alive. 1-2 remains the count. And Santos just gets a piece of it, but lines out to Duvall. Looked like it jammed her up right above her hands. So that'll be out number 1, and it's now Haley Goldsby at the plate. Goldsby 0 for 1 with a walk and a fly out. First pitch to Goldsby, makes contact with it, a slow roller to Gaziano, and she gets it the first in time for out number 2. And with 2 outs, it'll now be Emily Garcia. She's 1 for 2, a fly out and a single. First pitch to Garcia, and she's going to take inside for ball 1. Garcia will be followed up by Archuleta if she can reach safely. Next pitch in there for a strike 1. And that ball is going to be a grounder to Pozazinski. Throw across the diamond is in time for out number 3. Cougars, they go 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the 5th. We head to the top of the 6th now. CUW still on top of their rivals from Chicago. 5-0. More for you when we're back on the Cougar Sports Network in just a second.
Thanks for tuning in to today's game. For more information on the softball program, head to cucougars.com. We hope to see you at our next game. Yay!
Jess Pozazinski starts us off here as she's going to take the first pitch for a ball. That ball rolling away in the dirt. Borelli, despite allowing the first 2 batters to reach, able to get out of last inning, not giving up any runs. The first time that's happened to CUW this game, as that ball is knocked foul down the left field line. Now, Borelli did it with a big play from Alyssa Contopoulos, made the grab and right, and then able to gun down the runner at home. So Borelli trying to work on her second inning of scoreless ball here. As the 1-2 low makes it 2-2. And that ball is drilled into left center. It's gone. Oh my goodness. Holy cow. I believe that ball made its way into the baseball field. An absolute missile from Jess Pozazinski. Her team leading 14th home run of the season. That thing got out in a hurry. My goodness. It was the definition of a moonshot. So it is now a 6-0 ball game here. As that ball misses to Claudia Utz. So CUW 2 runs away from being in run rule territory here. The 1-0. Misses, makes it 2-0 now. Wasn't even sure that ball was going to get out because its arc was so low, as there's going to be another hit for the Falcons. This one a single for Utz. Second single of the day. But that home runs ball, its arc was so low, but it had so much juice on it. And Megan Bloyer checks in now for the Falcons. Wind is blowing out a little bit as well. Super soft, but you can see the American flag blowing towards the baseball field. As we do have a pinch runner here. Claudia Utz will take a seat on the bench, and in her place will be Kiana Marie Takad. So, Takad on first. 2-0 count now on Bloyer, who herself a walk, a flyout, and an RBI double so far in today's game. As the 2 out of Bloyer, and that's going to be foul just barely down the third base line. So 2-1 count now. A couple inches to the right. That ball, a really nice hit down the line. That ball. And now the runner takes off for second. Throw is going to be not in time. Jess Gang lost it. And capitalizing that is the pinch runner, Takad. Meanwhile, it's a 2-2 count on Bloyer. Here's the pitch. Bloyer knocks it foul again. The 2-2 on another foul ball. So we'll stay at 2-2. Bloyer putting up a good fight here. The 2-2 from Borelli, fouled off again. Bloyer just not going down here. Bloyer represents the run rule run. As the 2-2 from Borelli is going to miss, low and in. Ball 3. Good fight here from Bloyer. It's going to be huge if she can get on base. And she takes time for a second, now gets set. The pitch from Borelli outside, ball 4. Borelli didn't even really look like she was set on that. Bloyer called time for a second and then stepped in, and Borelli immediately fired her a pitch. Might have thrown off Borelli. Either way, 2 runners on, still no outs. Circle visit for the Cougars with Jasmine Freeze, who has a pair of RBIs and a solo home run this game. As for Kiana Marie Takad, she officially advanced to second on a passed ball from Gang. It was not a steal. And the walk to Bloyer is how we got here. Bloyer will run for herself this time around the Pats. And as the first pitch to Free, she'll take high for ball 1. Falcons already have a run this inning from the solo home run from Pozinski. Hit that ball low. Two-0 count that ball. Oh, it's bobbled by Archuleta. She still gets you out of the third. The throw to second in time. Double play. Archuleta bobbled the ball. The grounder still able to scoop it up, step on third, and then throw across the diamond for a double play ball. So 2 outs on the board now for CUW. Takad picked off at third with the force out, and then they were able to get Freeze out at first, and it will now be Gabby Gaziano on at the play as she knocks this one up. Garcia camps under it and makes the grab for out number 3. But the Falcons, they get another run up on the board, a solo long ball from Jess Pozinski. That makes it 6-0. We head now to the to the bottom of the 6th, pardon me. Cougars trailing 6-0. See what they can do, and we're back on the Cougar Sports Network in just a second. Archuleta leads us off here in the bottom of the 6th. Cougars got to start putting up some runs quickly, as they are trailing 6-0 here, bottom of the 6th inning. First pitch, Archuleta makes contact with foul past the CUW dugout. Archuleta today 0 for 2 with a pair of flyouts to right and center field. And she'll take that slow pitch for a ball, 1-1 now. The 1-1 to Archuleta, popped up backwards. So 1-2 count after the foul ball. Pitch to Archuleta in the dirt, skips past the catcher, so we're evened up at 2-2 on the count. Two. Popped backwards again. Two count after that last foul ball. Martinez still dealing here for CUW. Delivers the 2-2, and that ball lifted into shallow center. Coming in time, though, is Wheat for out number 1. So that'll bring Jess Gang up to the plate. Gang 0 for 1 has drawn a walk and has also flown out in today's first game. See if she can be the first runner for the Cougars this inning. As Martinez delivers her the first pitch outside, 1-0. There has been a parade of CUW pitchers warming up in their bullpen right behind their dugout. They have some arms ready if they need a yank Martinez who's going deep, as that ball is into deep left, and it is caught. Fighting the sun was aired, man. That ball had a lot of hang time on it, but the left fielder eventually able to make the grab for out number 2. And now it'll be Melissa Hajik. Hajik, a pair of flyouts herself this game to right and left field. And she takes the first pitch high for ball 1. Last Cougar batter to reach safely was Michaela Morris in the 4th. Since then, it's been 6 consecutive outs from Adriana Martinez. See if they can make it 7. Scooped up by Pozinski. The throw to first in time for out number 3. Cougars go 1-2-3 for a second consecutive inning. And we head now to the final inning of the game, the final scheduled inning. CUW on top of the Cougars 6-0. We'll have more for you when we're back here in just a second on the Cougars Sports Network.
Nation! We love the support you give us on and off the field. To donate to our athletic communications department, hit the think button.
This helps us continue to have the best live stream possible and some great softball moments. Thank you, and enjoy the game.
Adriana Martinez leads off for the Falcons here. Top of the 7th. This will be their final chance to try and tag on some insurance runs. Not that they need many of those. Up 6-0 on CUC as Martinez hammers that one foul, and it's going to be off the top of the Cougars dugout. So it'll be an 0-2 count on the Concordia, Wisconsin pitcher. That ball gets away, so it'll be 1-2. 1-2. Makes it 2-2. Here's the 2-2, and that ball is lifted over the head of Larissa Santos. That'll be a leadoff single for Martinez. Base hit number 2 on the day for the CUW pitcher. And now it'll be up to Riley Duval to try and move over Martinez. Duval, single hit by pitch and a walk, so she's reached base every time she's tried this game as she fouls off the first pitch on a bunt attempt. break here as Duval having a chat with her coach. And she steps back in the batter's box. She tries to lay down a bunt again, and it's fouled off. So we got ourselves an 0-2 count. Here's the 0-2 away. So 1-2 now. That ball is drilled foul. Duval has had some hard hit foul balls this game. That ball makes its way back to home plate. Traveled a long way home. Here's the 1-2. Outside, Duval thought about chasing. She holds back in time. Two pitch from Borelli is knocked foul again. Another very hard hit ball. These things are loud off the bat. You just cannot keep them in fair territory. Probably a good thing for a CUC squad that's already given up 2 home runs this game. And here's the 2-2, and that ball does stay in fair territory. Glove by Santos. The throw to first is not going to be in time, but they get the runner at second. So Duval hits into a fielder's choice. Martinez out at second with 1 out, a runner on first. We're back to the top of the lineup for Sydney Erdman. Erdman had a leadoff double to start the game. Since then, a flyout, a lineout, and a sacrifice bunt. As that pitch misses away for ball 1 to the lefty Erdman. Here's the 1-0. As the runner takes off for second, the throw is going to be off the base. So stolen bag for Riley Duval. As it's 2-0 count on Erdman now. And Erdman hits that up the middle into center field. And coming around home to try and score is Duval. She does. And so an RBI single for Sydney Erdman. And that makes it 7-0 now as Maddie Wheat back up to the plate for another at-bat. Wheat so far sacrificed a bunt, a walk, a single, and a flyout. That single she had was on a bunt attempt. She has some speed to her game, so see what she does here with 1 out, runner at first. As the runner from first thought about taking off, the back pick attempt will chase her back to first, excuse me. And now the defense is going to call a timeout here as Coach O'Malley Fisher trots out to have a chat with her sophomore pitcher and the rest of her infield. Coach O'Malley Fisher in her 12th season with the squad, the longest tenured head coach here at Concordia University, Chicago. Meeting at the the circle is broken up. 1-0 count on Wheat. The next pitch as here's another throw to second. That's going to get into center field. The throw from Gang missed Garcia entirely. So that'll be a stolen bag for Erdman. 1-1 count now on Wheat. And that ball, contact with, gets into the glove of Santos. The throw isn't going to be in time at first. The throw to third won't be in time either. So a little chaos ball from the Falcons will put runners in the corners. The throw from Santos was in the dirt. It was a good pick by Hajik to keep it in front of her. So it'll be a infield single for Maddie Wheat. Add another one to her total today. And it pushes Erdman over to third. So 1 out, runners in the corners. Here is Pozesinski coming off a solo home run last inning. This one, it's got a chance too. It has more than a chance. Second home run of the day for Jess Pozesinski. Home run number 15 on the season for her as she sends another softball onto the baseball field. And she makes it now a 9-0 ball game. Three RBI home run for Pozesinski. She scores Erdman and Wheat, and the bases are empty now for Claudia Utz as that pitch is high for ball one. Well, here's that big inning that CUW has been looking for as that ball is hitting the left center, but Haley Goldsby can't track it down right past her glove. Just a step or two behind it. As that'll be a double for Claudia Utz. CUW just keeps it moving this inning. And now it'll be Megan Bloyer, who pair of walks, a RBI double, and a flyout on her resume this game. First pitch to Bloyer in there for a strike. Good frame job from Jess Game with a stolen one there. There's the 0-1. That ball bounces away from Gang, so taking off for third easily is Utz. Didn't even have to dive to get there. It will be another pass ball for Jess Gang as that ball almost gets away from her again. Count now 2-1. That ball in there for a strike makes it 2-2. Here's the 2-2 from Borelli. That ball lined right back at her. She snags it. And she might have had a chance to pick off Utz, who was already running to home, but instead Borelli looked towards first. I think she just completely forgot about the runner at third. I don't know if she would have gotten her, but it would have been a close play at the least. So now with 2 outs, it is Jasmine Freeze who takes one way high for ball one. Freeze having a nice day so far. A walk, a solo home run, and a sacrifice fly for an RBI. He's also hit into a double play. There's the 1-0 in there for a strike. 1-1 count now. Here's the 1-1. That ball lined up the middle. That'll be another RBI for Jasmine Freeze tonight. Brings home Utz. So it'll now be a pinch hitter and a pinch runner for CUW. So going to first for Freeze is number 4. That is Emily Walters, who has been in the flex position this game. She's been in right field all game, just has not been batting. And as for the pinch hitter, it is number 21, Caitlin Huberty, as here's a back pick attempt, no good. Huberty takes a strike. That ball softly hit towards Archuleta. The throw across the diamond. She spikes it, but grabbing it out of the dirt is Hajik. Nice pick there by the Cougars' first baseman for out number 3. But the Falcons put up a 5 spot, and the Cougars have a lot to do in just 3 outs. They trail 11-0 as we head into the bottom of the 7th. See what the Cougars can do here with their final trio of outs when we come back in just a second on the Cougars Sports Network.
Appreciate you for tuning in to today's game.
To stay up to date on all things CUC Softball, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at CUC Softball.
We'll see you on campus soon.
Comeback attempt starts now for CUC. Got to put up 11 runs in 3 outs here. And they will be doing it against a new pitcher in the circle for Concordia, Wisconsin. It is Jalen Greminger. 8 appearances on the year, 1.80 ERA, and just under 12 innings pitched. So small sample size, but it's been good work for number 17 as she issues a first pitch ball to Gina Westfall, who is 0 for 1 today. Hit by a pitch and a fly out on her resume. As here's the 1-0. And Westfall drills that one into right, but getting under it is Walters for out number 1. So 2 away now are the Falcons from a Game 1 win, and we have a pinch hitter here for CUC. It will be a Callie Tierney in the designated player spot. on the year, Tierney when batting a 167 average, 3 hits and 18 at-bats. She'll be pitch hitting for McConnor Morris, who was 2 for 2 up to this point, but Coach O'Malley Fisher maybe trying to get a different look here. As the first pitch to Tierney's in there for a strike. Tierney predominantly used as a pitcher for CUC. So she can see what she can do here with an at-bat. 0-1 to Tierney, and she fouls it off. So it's an 0-2 count now on Callie Tierney. The 0-2 from Greminger to Tierney is fouled off again. So we get set to do the 0-2 one more time, at least. Here's the 0-2, up high, ball 3. Ball 1. 1-2 count now. One and two on Tierney. In there, strike 3. Tierney goes down looking. And now we have another pinch hitter for the Cougars. It'll be number 8, Caitlin Smith. Smith so far on the year has seen 34 at-bats, has gotten 7 hits out of it for a 206 batting average. Let's see what the sophomore can do here with the game on the line. 2 outs on the board. Falcons need just one more to end this game 1. Dominant fashion. Greminger trying to shut this one down for CUW. First pitch to Smith. She's going to take for a strike. The 0-1 for Smith coming up here from Greminger. And she makes soft contact with it. It's foul, but it will put the count at 0-2. So Cougars down to their final strike here in game 1. Against the 3rd place Concordia University Wisconsin Falcons. Here's the 0-2 to Smith, high for ball 1. So she lives to see another pitch. Here's the 1-2. Just fouls it off to stay alive. Count remains at 1-2 now. The 1-2 misses for ball 2. Good take there from Smith. That ball was close to the strike zone. Here's the 2-2 from Greminger. Smith takes it high and away. Ball 3. Staying alive. (3-2) count. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Smith trying to prolong the Cougars' hopes a little longer here. The 3-2 from Greminger is knocked foul. Past the CUW dugout. So we'll get set to do it again. 3-2 pitch. That ball is lifted into shallow left, coming in and making the running grab for out number 3, and out number 21 is Erdman. And that'll do it for the game. So the Falcons come in and take game one by a score of 11-0. Let's look over some of our notable statistics from this first game. So the Falcons, they take game one with 11 runs off of 17 hits, no errors, and 11 left on base. The Cougars, they put up 0 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, and 6 left on base. For the Cougars, offensively, not much to show, but Kyler Morris did have the best stat line, 2 hits and 2 at-bats. Emily Garcia and Arissa Santos, the only other 2 Cougars hits. As for CUC's pitcher, the loss will go to Eden Pufall. 4 innings, gave up 5 runs, all of which were earned on 8 hits and a trio of walks. As for the visiting Falcons of Concordia University, Wisconsin, as we wait for those stats to load, Jess Pozazinski, the big name, 5 RBIs off of a pair of homers. She went 4 for 5 in total. Another multi-RBI game coming from Jasmine Freeze, 3 RBIs, 2 hits on 3 at-bats, and other RBIs coming from Bloyer, Utz, and Erdman. The winning pitcher will be Adriana Martinez. 6 innings, 4 hits, no runs, a pair of walks, and a pair of strikeouts under her name. So the Falcons, they take game one 11-0, but CUC does have a chance to redeem themselves in game 2. That'll be coming up shortly, so stay tuned on the Cougar Sports Network and our website, CUCougars.com. So we'll have that game for you coming up shortly, but until then, this is Peter Borkowski signing off the Cougar Sports Network, wanting to say, as always, go Cougars.
So much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you on campus very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.